Hello everyone, welcome to another Star Wars Old Republic video, and this is going to be about the new Datamined information on Knights of the Eternal Throne. Really excited about this stuff. I do want to discuss as much of it as I possibly can, but as I've started off my other videos, I do want to say two quick disclaimers. The first being, this is all Datamined information, subject to change, and I do want to credit the actual people who have done all the hard work, and so I'm going to leave a link in the description below which will lead you to a Reddit post, and that Reddit post will have a huge compilation of all the data mine information. So if you do want to take a closer look at this stuff, analyze it for yourself, you can go ahead and check it out there. Once again, the link is in the description below. And the second quick disclaimer is that spoilers. Spoilers ahead. Now this is probably going to be the most speculative video of the series of videos I'm releasing about this data mine content. All my other stuff have, contained a lot of spoilers, and they've been very spoilerish, I guess you could say. But in this case, I'm going to be speculating a lot because what I'm looking at here are just, this is just the NPCs that have been added on the public test server. But it does give me a little bit of interesting information, and so I do want to discuss it very quickly. But it will kind of contain spoilers, so if you absolutely don't want to know anything about the new Knights of the Eternal Throne stuff, I do suggest you click off this video, but once again, this isn't going to really give any hardcore story spoilers. But let's get right into it. So I've gone through basically all these pages. There's 982 stuff, but I've just kind of highlighted the important things that kind of stick out to me and allow me to branch off and speculate about some stuff. And the first thing is, as you guys can see, there is Arkan. And obviously it's no surprise we're going to be interacting with Arkan, because at the end of chapter 16 we did have that ability to either try to kill him or let him go. And either way, no matter what you chose, Arkan and Senya did end up escaping, but your choice is probably going to affect how he interacts with you in the future. And I immediately thought, if I let him be, maybe he's actually going to turn around and help the Alliance, because his empire has kind of fallen. Scorpio's taken power now, and so maybe he'll actually help the Alliance. So I did end up choosing to let him leave. And it does seem as though he's going to be a friendly character, because keep in mind here, there is hostile characters that are outlined in red, but friendly characters are outlined in green, and it seems here Arkan is a friendly character. So obviously every single interaction you have with him is not going to be you wanting to kill him or him wanting to kill you. I don't think it's at the point where he's going to join us as a companion or anything, although it does say here Arkan companion. Very interesting, but he's not going to join us as a companion in our alliance, I don't think. But what it is that he is going to kind of be a friendly character, and there are some instances where he's probably going to join you as a companion just for that mission, in the same way Darth Mar joined you as a companion just for chapter 1 of Knights of the Fallen Empire. And you could probably use my trick, maybe. I'm going to be checking that out, because my trick was, if you wanted Darth Mar as a companion, just play the first chapter of Knights of the Fallen Empire, and when you get him as a companion, just leave. And you could go on the fleet, you can run around, you can get his influence up, and anything you wanted, basically, and have him as a companion. So maybe you're going to be able to do the same thing with Arkan, and actually have him as a companion. Or maybe Bioware won't allow that to happen, and they'll have some safeguards in place. But at the end of the day, what I wanted to point out was Arkan is here as a friendly character, who in some cases might fight alongside you, and you're going to be able to have some sort of friendly interactions with him. So that's the first thing. I'm going to click out here, and let's move on to the second page. Now the second thing I wanted to quickly point out was, Jace Malcolm. Yeah, so just a quick thing here. Jace Malcolm is going to be here as a friendly character. So we're going to be able to see some of these Old Republic characters show up. Jace Malcolm is that trooper that you see in 2 of the trailers for Star Wars: Old Republic. Those two cinematic trailers, and we haven't seen much of him in the story as of now. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets incorporated in the story. Hopefully, we'll see some more of him, because where are all these heroes of the Old Republic when Zakuul invaded? And that's one thing that I've mentioned in my previous videos. We focused a lot on Zakuul, the Alliance, obviously our characters, how they're combating and how they fought Arkan, but on the other hand, what's been going on with the Empire and the Republic, which is now under the control of Zakuul. What's been going on there, what are the power plays, where are those heroes of the Old Republic? We have Nico Okar and stuff, but where are people like Jace Malcolm? So it's going to be interesting to see them show up again. So that's the second thing. Let's go ahead on to the third thing, which is, let's see if I can remember. Here we go. Talon of Isaacs. Now this is just a siege walker, But the reason I decided to throw it out there was, for those of you who don't know who Isaacs is a Zakuul god, and he is in their mythology as this god. I forget what god he is, but there's some sort of mythology associated with him. And the only reason I put this here, and the only reason I want to talk about it, is because I do hope we start seeing some more stuff related to Zakuul mythology. There has to be something bigger at play, honestly, when it comes to Knights of the Fallen Empire, because we have Valkorion, we kind of know his motives, we also kind of don't, but with so many characters like the Herald of Zildrog obviously being that huge serpent, and you have the Scions, which foretold a future that was glorious, and you have the Herald of Zildrog, which are this group of fanatics which believe Zildrog will one day return, and you have then references to the Zakuul mythology like this champion boss, which is the Talon of Isaac. So basically the only reason I left this in here was I'm hoping that we start seeing some new stuff related to Zakuul mythology. Maybe there's a new threat that's related there. Maybe Zildrog will return. Who knows? But hopefully we'll start seeing some more of that stuff. Let's see, what did I want to highlight here? Here we go, Thexan. So we see Thexan here as a friendly character. How he's going to be incorporated in the story, I have absolutely no idea. Obviously, he's supposed to be dead. Is he actually alive? It doesn't say here he's going to return as a companion or anything. So is he just going to kind of show up as a cameo, maybe as a force spirit, maybe in a cinematic, or I don't really know how this works, but it does seem as though he is going to be making some sort of return, which is absolutely awesome, because obviously Thexan is a major part of Zakuul. He was there when they came and invaded the Empire and the Republic, and so to have him return in the story is going to be very interesting. But there's really nothing more to speculate there. There really is absolutely no information about how he's going to return or in what capacity. But the fact of the matter is he is going to return somehow, and that's pretty exciting. Finally, we have... okay, there was nothing too much here. I mean, I just saw Darth Malak, and I thought I would point it out. Will we actually see Darth Malak here? I'm not I'm sure. It does seem as though it was just a test. And so basically for the test, they were just putting in random stuff. But I thought it was worth pointing out because Darth Malak is awesome. But that is the video. Obviously one of the more speculative videos I've made. There's really not much to go off here, not much information. We're just kind of seeing some of the characters that have been added on the public test server. But it does kind of hint at some of the characters that we're going to see in Knights of the Eternal Throne, and maybe hints at some of the bigger themes that we're going to see, like seeing the Zakuul family reunion. Basically, we have Thexan, we have Valkorion. Maybe we're going to see some sort of family reunion there. On the other hand, we have some really, really cool things, like some new companions, some new interactions with Arkin and stuff like that. So I did want to point those out there. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too spoilery for those people that did stay tuned. I am going to be coming out with a lot more content on this data mine information, so please stay tuned on my channel, subscribe if you want to. But at the end of the day, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.